I want to talk about a pretty serious problem that we face in our modern world. Our world is hyper optimized to distract you from yourself, to pull your attention away from you, right? In the form of TV, Instagram, endless scrolling, junk food, highly stimulating foods, advertisements, billboards, etc. Right? I don't even have to go on, but I will. Why not? New fashion trend, new iPhone, new movie, new TV show, new, right? And it's just hyper optimized to just always be absorbing your attention and leave you in this sort of unconscious cycle of just reacting to life, always reacting to life, not being conscious, not being grounded in yourself, right? It's just like something arises and we react, and we basically just do this because we're so numb to our existence. And then in order to, not feel so numb again, we need something new again to just react to. And we're just kind of stuck in this cycle, and it leaves our species in a really low level of consciousness, right? It doesn't lead to great intelligence in our species. It doesn't lead to spiritual development. It doesn't lead to anywhere profound. It just leaves us stuck in cycles, right? Leaves us in this illusion of like there's things happening, we're progressing, right? We're actually really intelligent, but we're really just kind of stuck. We've unconsciously designed our world to really just keep us stuck, right? And the way I'm using the word unconsciously here is not that, people are completely unaware. I'm using it more so that we're not really aware of the impacts that it's having. And we're doing so, we're kind of constructing our world from a low level of consciousness, right? Like obviously people are aware of what they're doing when they put billboards literally everywhere. But what I'm saying is more so that when we're kind of organizing our world right now, it's done from a very low level of development, not from an advanced level of development, right? We always like to talk about how advanced our species is. It really isn't. Right, so why am I actually sharing this? Why am I even talking about this? Because this is the world that you're living in, and it's full of traps. It's full of ways that you can just get sucked into just all sorts of distractions. And this will literally wire itself into your mind, and you just get stuck in this for years and years and years and years. This becomes your entire life. Right, I'm sure we all know of people who started watching TV when they were very young, and they're in their older age, they're still just watching TV, right? Wake up, check phone, go to work, come back from work, right? Or even before that, sit in traffic, scrolling on your phone, come home, scroll on your phone, watch TV, Netflix, junk food. Right, we're all pretty aware of this cycle. Right, so the long-term impacts of our current way of living, right now we don't really know. We don't know what the long-term impacts on psychological health are, right? When it comes to scrolling, like the long-term impacts of scrolling, right? What those impacts are on psychological health. And we don't really know what we're doing as a species, right? This is another very critical thing to actually recognize, that most of us are not visionary geniuses. We don't understand how we evolve as a species, like how our psychology evolves, how our consciousness evolves, how our culture evolves. We're just stuck within very surface level phenomena, right? And just reacting to life. We don't get grounded within ourselves. We don't give ourselves attention. We don't really connect to ourselves, right? If you actually look at your life, so much of it is geared towards things that suck your energy, and you trying to disconnect from yourself, from the present. You trying to avoid the present. You trying to avoid yourself. And of course, this leaves you in samsara, right? It's a Buddhist term. It's basically hell, suffering. So how do you really begin to get out of this, right? You have to make yourself really aware of all the traps that you can fall into in the world. Right? You have to really recognize the power of your attention, that what you give your attention to, right, your energy follows. And you have to recognize that some things are trying to just take from you, and some things actually give to you. And a lot of things in our modern world are at a low level of moral development, where they're just always trying to take for themselves and screw the repercussions. Such a prime example of that is us destroying the environment for personal gain and denying that this is even happening in the first place. Right? Prime example. So you have to really become conscious of all the things that are just trying to suck your energy, have strong boundaries with those things, start cutting them out of your life. Right? And introduce things that give you energy. It's such a simple principle. If the thing sucks energy from you, start cutting it out. If it gives you energy, if it makes you feel healthy, if it makes you feel alive, vital, present, grounded, stable, keep it in your life. If it's healthy for you, keep it. Such a simple rule, right? But why can't we live by this? Why is it so hard? Because we actually build addiction, right? Addictions, really, to all of our coping mechanisms. Oh my God, the mosquitoes are coming out. We get addicted to our distractions. We get addicted to our coping mechanisms. We get addicted to the avoidance of our suffering. And it's all this sort of emotional underlying stuff that just stays in the shadow that is actually controlling us 95% of the time. Your unconsciousness controls you 95% of the time. And even the little bit of stuff that you really are in control of is still so fueled by your unconsciousness, right? Which is why I really emphasize the importance of daily meditation, right? Really beginning to shine a light on your own mind, shine a light on your own emotions, shine a light on your behaviors, right? Sitting in just mindful presence every day, meditation retreats, reading psychology books, reading psychotherapy books, breath work, right? Getting into your body, eating foods that allow you to inhabit your body rather than, making it a toxic and numb place. If your body's capable of producing states of well-being by exercising, stretching, being flexible, eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, having healthy foods, right? If it's able to produce states of well-being, it's easier to get inside of it. If you make it a vital, alive place to be, it's easier to ground yourself in it, right? It's easier to actually process a lot of the emotions that keep you addicted to certain cycles. And this is very hard for a lot of people, right? Personally, I think I'm rather gifted with self-discipline, right? I actually don't come across a lot of people with an ability to discipline themselves in the same way that I can. I've done long meditation retreats, sitting there 10 hours a day, right? Not eating junk food, right? I haven't been eating junk food in a very long time, right? I eat dominantly fruits and vegetables. Right? I exercise every single day. Meditate every single day. It's been like 7 years. Read every single day. Write every single day. Right? And I'm not trying to make this into some sort of grind, some chore. The thing is, though, is that you have to just slowly start, right? You have to slowly start incorporating certain things into your life that foster your long-term development and your ability to connect to yourself and remain connected to yourself. And cut out the things that actually don't help you with that. They're just distractions. See, there's no real alternative here, right? It's either you stay stuck within the patterns that just steal your energy, right? Your very valuable, precious life energy, or you really change them. And the thing is you actually come to identify with your patterns. You build your sense of ego and separate self off these patterns. So they're not going to go without a fight. In the same way that if I attacked you, right, trying to kill you, you're not going to go down without a fight, I bet. And it's the same thing with these psychological patterns, your psychological self, your ego, your sense of separate identity from everything else, right? Your sense of identity and thought, emotion, habit, patterns, things like this. Right? Resistance arises. Right? When you start to address your emotions, you start to get sleepy. You avoid it altogether. You make excuses saying you'll do it next week. Right? You put it off. You don't sit with yourself in a room meditating every day. You distract yourself all the time. You can't sit with yourself in a room. Right? Don't you find that a little bit odd? That it's so hard to just sit and observe yourself in a room, completely undistracted with your eyes closed, just watching. You need something to just run, right? And we're so conditioned to stay stuck in this pattern, right? And even the idea of a meditation retreat to many people sounds insane. That just sounds dumb. Like there's no results to yield. There's no point to this. Meditating seems stupid. Why would I sit there and do nothing? Isn't it better if I just do something? Right? Why do you always have to be doing something? Why can't you just sit and rest? Why can't you just sit and be present? Why can't you just be in your own body? You ever wonder why you can't just sit with full presence in your body, fully inhabiting the space that you occupy in this wonderful world? Do you ever wonder why your body's so tense? Why your gut's always clenched, your shoulders are raised, your heart feels contracted? So what kind of content do you consume? What kind of food do you eat? How do you really spend your time? Is it sucking your energy or is it giving you energy? Is it helping your long-term development or is it pulling you away from it? And you want to align your life with your long-term development if you're serious about personal growth, self-actualization, self-transcendence, awakening, right? Health, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health. Your long-term development in all areas of life is completely needed. And a strong emphasis on it. And the things that pull you away from it, the things that destroy your long-term development, all of that is just distractions. It's not as important as your long-term development. Right? But Lucas, what's the point of any of this? Right? Why do I even have to do this? You really don't have to do anything. I'm not really telling you to do absolutely anything. It's just if you resonate with the values of consciousness, love, being healthy, having a life purpose, having meaningful connections in the world, a lot of this stuff is really important. Right? You don't have to just like believe what I say and then go act on it like a robot. Right? I'm not a priest or anything like that. Right? You don't have to do any of this. It's just if you really want to fully actualize yourself and embody yourself in this world, yeah, these things matter. That's why it matters. If you really want to live harmoniously with the people in your life, within your own self, if you want to live harmoniously in your own being, this matters. Within the environment that you exist in, this matters. If you really want to realize what reality is, self-transcend, realize the nature of this existence, this stuff matters. If you really want to clean up a lot of your own neuroses and suffering, this stuff matters. So that's it for this video. If you guys are interested in working with me one-to-one, you can apply to work with me. Link is in the pinned comment and the description. Good luck. Take it easy.